Good morning and welcome to Gridbusters. So in this video I want to give you a quick update on what's been happening here at Gridbusters. So a couple of weeks ago I fell off a ladder, a rather tall ladder, and really hurt my back. So temporarily delayed the solar roof for a few weeks whilst my back recovers, because I'm going to be obviously helping out with replacing the roof, and we're going to be having to lift the solar panels onto the roof, which is quite a difficult task. So we've been doing a few things in the meantime. I'll cover those later in the video, but what I just wanted to show you right now is this section of the barn. So this is where our electric tractor is going. So later this year we're getting a battery powered electric tractor, and we wanted somewhere where we can park it and charge it, and that would be secure. So let me show you what we're doing. So yesterday we started with digging out the floor. Let me just go down here. So this is how much we've dug out. The line there which we've drawn on is where the concrete's going to go up to. So there's still a little bit more digging out to do. Almost finished. We should have that ready today. And then we're putting in a damp-proof membrane. And then tomorrow, the ready mix concrete comes. So we've ordered the concrete with the cement truck. So that's coming tomorrow. And then that's a self-leveling concrete which will go on top of the membrane, and then wait for that to dry. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put a ceiling in here, because we have a lot of problems with birds nesting up here, and there's usually a lot of bird droppings here. So I'm going to do exactly the same as we did in the garage. We're going to put some timber up here, and then put some tongue and groove chipboard flooring actually as a ceiling. Then we're putting in a Douglas fir frame here, exactly the same as I did in the garage, and some double doors, which are then going to be lockable. And the plan is to bring some power from the workshop, which is there, over, and then dropping it down. So I've got a 32 amp feed coming into this garage, which will be used for the lights, a double plug socket, and the charger to charge the tractor. So that's what we're getting up to at the moment. I'll do some filming today. Hopefully today we'll have the rest of this earth removed. We'll have the damp-proof membrane in. We'll have a piece of timber along the front, which acts as a kind of a dam, if you like, a border for the concrete. So we're going to get all that in, get everything ready for the concrete pour first thing tomorrow morning. So that's what's happening today. Let me show you the garage. So here's the garage. I've linseed oiled one side of the doors here. Still got to linseed oil the other side of the doors. Here's the scaffolding tower. So I think later on, as long as it's not raining, I'm going to get that moved over. So what I normally do is I sit on the top row there, and then I can reach the top and paint that all with linseed oil. So we've still got a little bit more work to do in here. Last night what I actually did was I gave everything a light sand, the remaining plasterboard filler there, and gave it a second coat of plasterboard filler, because when you put filler in like a gap, when it dries it shrinks. So then you have to sand it down and give it a second coat. So I've given everything a second coat. The problem I'm finding is it's so cold at the moment that the plasterboard filler, which if you were doing it like indoors in a house, would dry kind of overnight. The thicker areas, 2 days later, and it's still not dry. So yeah, it's taking an awfully long time for everything to dry. So this was done almost 4 days ago, and I can still put my fingernail into it. It's a lot drier than it was, but it's still not really dry enough to sand. So I think I'm going to have to wait another 2 days before I can sand this section down. Yeah, it's just the thicker areas, and then I can paint everything. So I'm hoping by the weekend I can have everything sanded and painted. I'm just waiting for those last bits of plasterboard filler to dry, taking an awfully long time. I could put some heaters in here, but the trouble is we don't have a door fitted yet on the log store there, so it's kind of tricky to heat in here. Otherwise, I'd have put a bunch of electric radiators and things in here and heated it, and then the plasterboard filler would have dried much quicker. But I think I'm just going to let it naturally dry, and then over the weekend, I can get the rest of this all painted. So the final thing I need to do in here is if I just pan up here, or tilt up rather, you can see two cables coming out the ceiling. So the first one is for a smoke alarm. That's what the power cable is for. I've got some Google Nest smoke alarms, which are pretty cool. And then the second white cable there, that is for a Wi-Fi hotspot. So I'm going with these Google Nest smoke alarms. They're also carbon monoxide sensors as well, which we don't actually need, and I'm hoping it doesn't prove to be a problem in here because, you know, obviously Dave does have a diesel pickup truck, and he will be just driving in here and then turning it off. I'm just hoping it doesn't set the carbon monoxide alarm off. That would be really annoying if it does. But the reason I've gone with these smoke alarms is because they connect to the internet and they're all linked together. So I'm going to have one in the plant room. We've got a couple in the house. We're going to be putting one in the workshop, in the tractor shed. We're going to be putting them in the guest house. And then if one alarm goes off, so let's say an alarm in the workshop goes off, they all go off. And I also get a notification on my phone. So like if I was out in the shops, I would have a notification on my phone saying, hey, you know, there's a smoke alarm going off at the moment in the workshop. There's smoke in the workshop. Or if you're, you know, in bed at night, you'll hear the smoke alarm in the hallway saying, warning, there is smoke in the plant room or the garage or whatever. So that's really cool. I definitely wanted, because the property is so large and we have outbuildings, I needed to have a smoke alarm system that was all connected and also connected via an app. So if I'm, you know, half a mile down the road, you know, at the top of the field or something, I will still get a notification on my phone if there are any problems. So I'll let you know how these go. I've only got a couple of these installed so far, but you can get these either battery powered or mains powered. I prefer to go with mains power. I don't want to be having to change batteries. Interestingly enough though, even the mains powered smoke alarms have batteries in, so if there's a power cut, they still work, which is really cool. In here we're going with the mains powered one. There's a couple of places in the property where it's going to be a real pain to get cables put in, so I've gone with battery powered ones. And then obviously I've got the Wi-Fi hotspot in here for the car, so the car can do software updates, even if the car is in the garage. Okay guys, well I'm going to leave it there, and I'll record some updates today of the work that's going on, and I'll catch you soon.